Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome. How you guys doing today? Welcome, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Guys, ready for Bits-a-Thon day 2? Ready to knock out some time on this timer. Let me hear stuff. How's it going, everyone? It's so crazy to be live at such an early point of time. I'm so early. Oh my golly. I'm unplugging my headphones real quick. So if you try to sound alert me, I cannot hear it. So please wait until I'm done untangling my headphones. Hello, hello, hello. How you guys doing today? Welcome in, welcome in. Hello. Ah, I can hear again. Let's go. Whoop. How's it going, everyone? Welcome in, welcome in. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in forever, even though it's been a literal day. Hello. I'm so early. This is so weird. Leah, hello. How you doing? Hi, 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 hi. How you doing? How's it been, Leah? I feel like I haven't seen you in a hot moment. Everything going swell? Brewster! Hey, welcome in, Brewster. Thank you for redeeming and activating the weirdness. Let's go. Brewster's so weird. Hello. What's weird? Is it weird that I'm weird and, you know, you're weird, Brewster, and we're all just weird together? Is that what's weird? I feel like kind of clearing, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what to do in LOTRO right now. I kind of feel like clearing out my characters, if I'm being honest. Leah. Ah, thanks, Brewster, for that gifted to Leah. Holy crap, thank you. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Brewster's already adding to the timer, man. He's like, let's add it. Thank you. I appreciate that gifted to Leah. Leah, you said, yeah, it's been a hot minute, but I'm okay. I gotta get back to LOTRO ASAP. Started playing again the other night. Wow. Yeah, because your Mac went out or something, right? Last time I talked to you, I want to say that you weren't able to play because your computer, like, crapped out on you. Brewster, OMG, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, Brewster's so generous. Thanks, Brewster. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the Mac went out. And so did you get a new computer or a new Mac? MJ! Also, wow, this is like people I haven't talked to in a hot minute, I feel. MJ, how are you doing? I just saw your message and I responded to it about, you know, about the readings, we'll say. Oh, Brewster, thanks for that gifted to MJ too. Thank you, man. That's so kind. Thank you, Brewster, for gifting out. Leah got PC, but by that time I got that I didn't want a LOTRO. Now you have both Mac and PC. Nice. Well, PC is good, and I understand that feeling of being like, I just don't want to, you know? I'm kind of at that point too of just almost like burnout in a way. Sissa, hey, Brewster starting early. I've had a rough night and day. What's up, Sissa? What's wrong? So now you can stream, edit videos, and play LOTRO. See, that's good. Yeah, that's nice. Too much bowling, Brewster says. You know, guys, you just have that thing that happens when you just, you know, you just can't, you can't go to sleep because you bowled so hard, you know? It's like drinking. You drink so much you pass out. Well, bowling, you bowl so hard, you just can't sleep. It's a new thing. MJ, it's okay having a rough nausea morning. Oh, yeah, I don't like that. I don't know why, so it's quite funny. I don't know how in-depth I should go with this, but in New Zealand, I always felt nauseous, like, at night. I don't know why. Like, I would just, like, be like, I think it was just from eating too much sugar, really. But, like, I just always, not always, but like it seemed like at least once a week I would just be like not feeling it, you know? But like here in the States, like since our food is like way worse actually for us health wise, like I feel even worse now eating. It's so bad. And it just like, oh man. Like I think it was 2 days ago. Like 2 days ago after eating dinner, I was just like, I can't, man. So I don't know, like maybe it's just something in the air. I don't know. Maybe it's a cold. I don't know. Maybe I'm just adjusting. I don't know, but like I'm with you, MJ. Yeah, it just sucks. B! Hello, B. Thank you for activating your weirdness, man. How's it going? Oh, Jack's here too. Hey, Jack, how's it going? Leah said the time zone snaps can for sure make me nauseated. Yeah, maybe that's what's it. I felt very nauseous on the flight back, but I think it's because on the flight back, I was coloring a lot on my phone. Like that's pretty much what I did for like 6 hours straight was like color on my coloring app that I use. And obviously I'm like bending over looking down at my phone coloring like this, you know. And I think whenever I'm like that for a long period of time, I do feel like a little like nauseous, because I just think the buoying of like the movement or whatever, like it just kind of, it makes you feel like that. So even when I got to the airport, I felt kind of crappy in San Francisco because I just felt like, I literally felt like the whole airport was moving and buoying. I was like, oh God. You might need to go outside. Yeah, maybe. It's so cold, man. I've been outside every single day, Brewster. I've been driving my car every single day. Like, I've been going out a lot. I'm actually impressed. I've gone out more than what I normally did. And I'm so busy, I swear. I think I literally, every single day, I have some place to go until Thursday. Like, I have some place to be. Plus travel, ugh, yuck. Honestly, I don't mind traveling too much. Like, I'm actually getting used to airplanes, which I'm not as nervous about getting on a plane anymore, if I'm being honest. I think it really is like just a once you start doing it more often sort of thing, you just kind of get used to it. Like before, I'm always like, oh my God, I'm going to die, like, you know? But now I'm just like, I get on the airplane and I'm just like, I'm so over this stupid airplane. I just want to get to my freaking destination. And I just tune out everything else. I'm just like, I just want to be where I gotta be, bro. Like, we don't got time for this flight, you know? Maybe I need more coffee. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I did have a Starbucks coffee since I've been back. And I was really nervous about it because I was like, that's so much sugar. But honestly, it was quite refreshing. I actually kind of miss Starbucks, low-key. I'm not gonna lie, maybe it's a Diet Coke, y'all, because the Diet Coke is just different here. It tastes so different now, and I don't know how I feel about it anymore. Like, I like Diet Coke for sure. It's just like, I feel like I'll have to drink less of it, or maybe just like keep it in the fridge more. I don't know. B, you're on a 5 stream streak. Let's go. And thank you, Jack, for activating the weirdness. Appreciate it. 5 streams streak pog, heck yeah. Yeah, how you doing today, Jack? Arbany, I haven't been to the USA, but judging by films and such, I would not be able to survive on your food. There's so much weird stuff you eat. Take the horrible peanut butter, for instance. What? Our peanut butter isn't bad. I don't particularly like peanut butter all that much, though, just in general. Like, I like it in stuff, but it has to be, like, very specific stuff, you know? I will say, though, our portions are, like, freaking massive. Holy crap. It's, like, the stuff that's healthy for you. That's what I found out. In New Zealand, like, if you went to go buy candy, the portions are, like, half of what you could get in the States. And it's, like, the same price. So it's, like, people don't go crazy on candy. But if you went out to, like, I don't know, say, like, oh, yeah, for instance, like, at the place where Ganto and I would get, like, bento, Oh my god, the portion was like massive. They would give you like all these veggies, they give you a frick ton of noodles, like they give you a lot of carbs, but like you get a lot of carbs in the States, but they would give you so much more like of the healthier stuff, I would say. Like even like KFC, for instance, KFC where I'm at, they give you so much freaking potato and like no gravy. And they'll give you like the biggest chickens and you just don't want to eat them all. And in New Zealand, it's like very much like smaller chicken. They give you like nothing but gravy and the potatoes, which I kind of like. But yeah, like I don't know, it's just different. Like they give you the good stuff that you actually want in higher portions, and then in the States it's like they just skimp you on it, and if you want more you gotta pay more. It's crazy. But yeah, like the portions alone are just a mess. No, B, I tried a Pepsi Max in New Zealand. Me and Ganto both did for the first time, and yeah, overhyped. Overhyped, man. Okay, it wasn't that bad, honestly, if I'm being honest. It wasn't that bad. But like it just wasn't. It tastes like a flatter Diet Coke in my opinion. Wasn't my go-to. Some stuff triggered me last night and messed with your head, you said, Sissa. Aw, not another headache, right? Like the migraine. Because you did not sound good that one day, Sissa. Let's hope it's not that again. Plane is the safest means of transport, you said, Arbany, but if something actually happens, you have the least chance to survive to compare it with other things. Exactly, Arbany. That's how I feel, where I'm just like, yo, like the plane scares me. I know it is the safest means of travel, and I mean, like, they check the plane like as soon as it lands, as soon as, like, before they take off, like they always do the maintenance checks. You're supposed to do, like, you know, some simple maintenance checks on your car. Like, you're supposed to walk around your car. At least that's what I was taught in driver's ed. You're supposed to walk around your car once before you get in it, every time before you drive, to make sure that all your lights are working and there's nothing, like, immediately bad. But, like, no one does that. I don't do that. Like, and then I remember, I can't remember who it was, but I remember talking about it. And then someone was like, when was the last time you got maintenance done on your car, Aubrey? And I was like, oh, yeah, that's been like a year and a half ago, and I drive that like every day. If I could trust that, I think I could trust a plane, you know? Booth, what's up, man? How's it going? Sweepy, hello, how are you? Yeah, plane is the safest, but yeah, like if your plane like craps out, yeah, it's not looking that promising. It's nice and spicy. I don't feel like a Pepsi Max is spicy. I feel like it doesn't have much spice. Hey Silver, how you doing? Parameter, hello. It's probably a fructose syrup thing, right? I remember trying cola in the US and it was much sweeter than what we have in Europe. Yeah, it's that, but also like it was that, and then also the, what is it, the aspartame or whatever it's called. Because New Zealand, they didn't have that in their stuff as well, and that is like an added sweetener, I think. Hey Soviet, dude, I feel like I'm seeing so many people who I haven't seen in a while pop in. How are you guys doing today? Small chickens in New Zealand? That's ludicrous. Listen, Brewster, you know, you had to be there, right? Hey Coco, how's it going? Basically, you're supposed to treat your car like it's Air Force One. Yeah, pretty much. Just to make sure, right? Booth, have I recovered from jet lag? Honestly, like, day one, I literally slept. I went to sleep at 5 a.m., woke up at 4 p.m. the next day. But after that, I've had places to go or things to do, so I've literally been up every day at like 9, 10 a.m. just doing my thing. So I think so. I get like really tired sometimes throughout the day. Like yesterday on stream, I was like, ugh, for a little bit, but I think I'm all right. How are things going for you, Booth? Soviet, you said, guess what? What's up? It's your birthday today, Soviet. Oh, happy birthday, man. Oh, Booth's back from ads. Dang it. I was just saying, Booth, that I pretty much had the day when I first got back, where I went to sleep at 5:30 and I woke up at 4 p.m. the next day. But after that, I've had places to go or things to do, so I've had to be up early. So I've been waking up at like 9 or 10. Hey, top of the morning to you, Glorfingly. Coco, and I'm sure F1 full bodysuits and helmets will be mandatory someday for a car. Maybe. Ah, the fake sugar. Yeah, exactly, Parameter. The fake sugar. We have so much of that, it seems. So much fake sugar. Sweepy doing alright. Woke up not too long ago. Accidentally awakened my long slumber. Dota 2 addiction. Ah, you know, we've been there and done that, man. You know, like, it just... It happens. It happens to the best of us, right? Yeah, happy birthday, Soviet. Heck yeah, do stuff. Yeah, Booth. I've literally just been like grinding my butt off. Grinding. Like I had a job interview today actually that I went to. That seemed okay. I'm not gonna lie, it seems a little sus of a place, but I'm like, if you can pay me, I don't care. And by sus, I just mean like, it just seems very like, almost like family oriented. So I feel like it's like, you know, just some of that like vibe going on. Boo Goose, how you doing? What's on the agenda for today? Good question. So, here, let me type out for a second. A little too wholesome. Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't trust wholesome things. Exactly, Narnar, it's too wholesome. Well, it was weird because in the interview they were like, just letting you know, just as like a respect thing, when you come in for like the morning, please say like hello to the chefs and, you know, the people at the bars, but please address them as like Mr. or Mrs. and then with their name, like hello, good morning, Mr./Mrs., you know, add name. And I was like, this is a weird thing to get told in an interview. Like, I appreciate it because I don't want to like disrespect someone, but I'm also like, why is that a thing that has to be addressed? Like, has that been an issue before? Yeah, that's what it seems. It seems to be like older, we'll say. And I kept saying that. They were like, there's a lot of like old people that come in, and I was like, oh, okay. Maybe that's it. Oh gosh, what's on the agenda for today? We're gonna play some LOTRO. So I finally found out, because I have a dinner tonight to go to. It's going to be at 4 o'clock, which I did not expect. So I think we're just gonna LOTRO for a little bit. I don't know what to do, because I'm like, we could LOTRO for like 3.5 hours, or we could do LOTRO for like 2 hours and then switch. Kind of depends on what we're doing, how we're feeling. So but after, I think I'm gonna wrap up stream at about 4, so in like 4 hours, and then I'll probably go out, have dinner, because it's with my fam. I don't want to like rush it, but I'll probably kind of rush it. Yeah, and then I'll probably come back up at like 6 o'clock and then get the stream back up again, and then stream for another few hours then, and then we can do some other games then. And no, I am not actually streaming for 12 hours straight. I'm breaking it up. Arvini, I hear the Hobbit music, yeah. Leah, I'm about to start doing job applications and interviews, yuck. You know, honestly, like, I am just so desperate for a job, I won't lie. Like, I literally, when I was in New Zealand, like, every little bill thing that's ever happened, like, came up on me. And so all I see right now is, like, I have all this debt, you know, from, you know, not having any savings to go to New Zealand. So I had to take out some debt. And I was like, okay, I'll repay the debt when I get back. But now it's like crunch time where I'm like, yo, I've got all this debt to repay. I've got like these 3 bills that just hit me out of nowhere. So I'm literally just like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm just like going into interviews, like I have no expectations. I'm just here to work, and like I just want to have good vibes with people. That's all, you know. Like I just want to work, and like, you know, I desperately could just, you know, use the financial aspect of it, and so I will do my job, and like, you know, people can take it or leave it. I think that's just where I'm at in life anymore, where like I would always go into interviews and be like, oh my god, like what if I say the wrong thing? And I'm just like, you know what, man, like if you don't want me, it's cool, man. If you know, if you're looking for something else, like, it's fine. Like, I'll go in there, give you like the details of me, whatever, and you know, just let it happen. I don't know, like, maybe it's just because I've just been screwed over by so many jobs already in such an early amount of time in my life that I'm just like, okay, if it's meant to happen, great. If it's not, it's no biggie. I do like not starving to death though, said Leah Fair. Yeah, that's important. Like, honestly, I think I'm just so screwed, like, financially right now that I'm just like, I'll take anything. I don't care. I'll work it. And if I don't like it, TS. I gotta get through it. Coco, family oriented often means that you're the black sheep by default since you're not in the family. Yeah. I feel like most of the stuff will just get tossed on me, which is whatever. I could care less, you know? I'm just gonna go in, do my job, and leave if I get hired. So it's like someone didn't get the respect they thought they deserved, so they made it a rule. Yeah. It was weird too because they were pretty straightforward. They were like, so in the evening shifts, you're supposed to tip out the bussers 10% of your total tips. I was like, okay. And they were like, yeah, but if you feel like the bussers like sucked at their job, you can tip them less. And I was like, okay, sweet. And they were like, yeah, but like, you know, like this is between you guys, so like we don't want to be dragged into it, like, you know, like, you know. And I'm like, that's fair. But I'm also like, if you didn't tip someone the minimum, I feel like you would get dragged into it as the boss. Like, they would be mad. Did the interview go okay? Yeah, it was like the weirdest thing. Like, I pretty much like walked in there and they were like, what's your availability? And I was like, great. And they were like, okay, great. You're available? That's great for us. We're doing a lot of interviews, we'll let you know. Like, nothing about like, tell me about yourself. None of that. They were just like, can you work? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, okay, great, we'll let you know. I was like, okay, that's the weirdest thing. It was so weird. But I was like, they must really be like desperate or something. I don't know. They must need people. My wife gets home this evening, so I'm questing my butt off all day in between house cleaning chores. Nice. Spend that money, more problems, right? Exactly, Brewster. Booth, but then how do you answer the question, what do you find important about this company? And you're like, money? Yeah, true. I was worried about getting that question because I was like, I don't know if I want to bologna sandwich this anymore. Like, you know, I'm like, oh, I've never heard of you before until I applied for this job because you're offering me money. So, you know, that's just how I feel. So I'm like, you know, your company sounds great because it offers me some income. Hey, Wine, how you doing? They took one look at you and was like, she's the one. I don't think so, because if they thought that, they probably would have hired me on the spot. They probably are like, oh, okay, she can work a lot, but like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I don't have enough experience, because it's not like I've really had experience. I've never had long-term restaurant positions, and this is for a restaurant. So every restaurant I've ever worked, I've only been there for less than a month, because I either got fired or I quit. I actually quit one of the restaurants I worked at after 3 weeks, because I go into every interview and I'm like, what is the training process like? Because I want to know, like, if they're going to just throw me out to the wolves, or if they're actually going to at least kind of hold my hand a little bit. I like to have my hand held, all right? I won't lie. I'm a hand holder, you know, for at least a good week or two. And then I start getting comfortable after like the second week, and then I'll start trying to do stuff, and then I make like a frick ton of mistakes. It's great. But I like making a lot of mistakes early on, because it's like you can get away with it more. Because, you know, obviously they're like, oh, you're new, you know? But yeah, but I'm like, you know, I don't like being tossed out on the wolves and then just expecting to have everything known. Yeah, and so I go into this interview like, okay, what's it gonna be like, the training process? Bro, they're like, oh yeah, you'll be training with the other, because I was a host. They were like, you'll be training with the other hostess or whatever. Bro, I kid you not, my training shifts, I was supposed to have 3, right? Kid you not. Every single one I went to for the first week of training, literally my trainer would call off. Every single one. So they would be like, great, you're new. Figure it out. Good luck. We don't have anyone coming in. We have no one to train you. So then the second week comes, like, cause like I freaked up so much, like the servers were getting mad at me. Like some servers were like, don't seat me anymore. Other servers were like, seat me right now, you know, like, and then I'd seat them and then they'd be like, when I met right now, I only met like a table, not like 2, Aubrey, like, and I'd be like, okay. And then literally the second week comes and they're like, I'm like, okay, listen, I don't know how to do anything. I fricked up everything. I haven't been trained. Can you train me? So the manager's like, okay, great. Yeah, no, like it was just unfortunate timing, you know? So second week comes. More of my trainers call off. Dude, they had a calling off issue. That's exactly what the issue is. So instead, what your manager should do, or at least this is what I would have done as a previous manager, that's when your manager should be stepping up and then training you. Obviously, your manager has like 20 other things, or they should at least be trying to at least call some people in. And if that doesn't work, maybe you just have some other people, like your servers, you know, who are also hostess, also train and serve if possible. And then I just like pick up the slack somewhere else. Like maybe I'll bus or something. I don't know. But yeah, so second week, same issue. And literally by the third week, they were like, oh, you're done training. I was like, that's funny because I never got any. And they were like, oh, well, you're doing fine. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm literally getting like cussed out nearly from all the servers. And they were like, oh, they're just like that. And I'm like, all right, then. I'm gonna quit because you guys did not fulfill your end of the deal here. And this was a question I specifically talked about. And they were like, but you just got here. You don't understand. This is gonna look bad for you if you quit. I was like, I'll take my chances. It was such a crappy job. Like, what the heck? That was wild. I consider that a red flag. I agree, John Moore. I do consider it a red flag too. But at the same time, like, we'll see how everything plays out. Maybe they don't even hire me. Are they paying you? Are they paying the routine tips part of your wage? Are they paying you out? I'm sorry, Goose. I'm not sure. Are they paying you? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. It's a company. What job of it? It's just a serving job at like a sushi place. Yeah, I mean, anything is doable for like a month while you find something better. See, that's the thing though, is like, is there anything better? Guys, I don't think there's any such thing as like a decent job out there. I'm honestly in like that mindset where I'm just like, I think all jobs are supposed to be horrible. And I don't know. John Moore, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Like, I've never found a job that was like good, or like, I found tolerable jobs, we'll say. Oh, John Moore, thank you for the sub too, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Here, have some money. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. It helps out a lot. So thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think there are any good jobs out there anymore. Like, I'm such a pessimist in that, but like, I've never found a job that like, I found jobs where I liked the job, but the people I worked with were just horrible. Or I found jobs where like the people I worked with were great, but I hated the job, you know? So I don't know. It could just be a me thing. It could be like, I just don't know what I want to do sort of thing. Very well could be. But I just feel like all the good jobs, everybody's staying in them because, you know, they know what they got. You should work at Chipotle. You're an expert. Yeah, honestly, so here's the thing, Brewster. Chipotle pays all right. They have like decent benefits and stuff. Like, I think you get like sick time and stuff like that. And they can pay towards your tuition after a year. And if you do carry out, I think you might get tips. I'm not sure though. But really, if I'm gonna be honest, the only thing that is stopping me, and this is very picky, this is very specific, okay? But honestly, at this point, I might just apply, because who knows? But I really don't want to know how they make the stuff, okay? Because it will ruin Chipotle for me. Because whenever you go in like a food service job and then you see how like just crummy and gross everything is in the back, and then when you see how much like crap they put in the food, like how salty the chicken is and stuff, you just really it makes you not want to ever go to that establishment ever again. So that's kind of why I've been avoiding Chipotle, because I'm like, I really like Chipotle. I don't want to have Chipotle ruin Chipotle for me if I work there. Yeah, exactly. She'll never want to eat there again. Copy said, every job I've tried, they failed to train me, and I had to dig into working with other departments to learn from them because no one could tell me. My last job, my trainer quit because she got a better job in the middle of training me, and they were like, you'll be fine. LOL, I had to work with so many other teams to learn things. Yeah, exactly. That always seems to be the case. Honestly, to be fair, I was the trainer who essentially left a job while I was in the process of training someone else. Kind of. Like, the person, okay, so like the last job I had, the last office job I had, they hired someone and they hired her in for like a frick ton more than me. So I was like training her, but like I didn't train her on everything because I was like, I was very like skeptical because I was like, this girl will probably take my job. Because she was full-time and I was part-time at the time, and I was like, there's just not going to be enough work to go around. So I specifically didn't teach her one big portion of my job because it was very particular to the company. It had just started rolling out, but it was super like vital in terms of like my role and marketing for the rest of the real estate agents I worked with. So I didn't train her on that. And then after like a month or two, like when she was still getting adjustment, like obviously she still had questions and stuff and I was there to help her, but I was part-time. So I'm not even full-time training this lady. I'm only part-time training her. But after the month, I found out like that she was making a frick ton more than me. And then when the time came for the reviews and stuff, I was like, you know, my bosses were like, we're not giving you a raise. I was like, that's baloney. You just hired someone in for 25% more than me an hour. But okay. Anyway, yeah. So I get to that point, and then pretty much while I was leaving, because I was just like, here's my notice, I'm not putting up with this baloney. While I was leaving, she was asking me to get trained on that program. I didn't really show her a lot. I kind of didn't do it that, and I kind of did it on purpose. I was that person. So I was that person, okay? Like, I got her the basics, and she knew how to, like, she was pretty comfortable by the time I left, but like, in terms of that particular program and stuff, yeah, no, I did not help her. And the saddest part is that there's no one else who really knows how to use it, so she's just gonna have to do what I did and just learn it on her own. I don't know. Well, I'm sure she did now. I don't know who's doing. Gosh, they've hired so many people in my position since I've left. It's crazy how many people have gone and gone, like come and gone. It's crazy. A restaurant, I'll tell you a secret, they do not care about past experience and the person in general because they'll work you till you drop. You said, Arbany, if you stay for some reason, good for them. If not, then they'll get what they can from you. And by the way, resigning from food industry is not quite easy. They'll use different methods to keep you there as long as possible. Oh, Arbany, I've worked in food industry before. Like, I get it. I just like, yeah, they work you till you drop. I'm fine with that as long as I get paid. If I don't get paid, we're gonna have some issues. Yeah. But yeah, no, I know how it works. I've been in stuff. I've seen the red flags. I know the red flags. It's just like, guys, I'm just desperate at this point. Like, I got nothing else to say. Truthfully, I don't think there's a decent job out there anymore, says Leah. Yeah, same. No pay, no benefits. That's the problem too. Let's talk about that. My big, and honestly probably one of my better jobs. Brewster, thank you for the biddy. I appreciate it. One of the big girl, my first big girl job, my office job, that I worked at in marketing. I started and I was 35 hours a week, Monday through Friday. They made it 35 hours because technically, this is such a big thing. So technically, it wasn't full-time in their company's eyes, and to the government, they marked it as like, I'm not full-time. So they didn't have to offer benefits. Even though we would stay over, like, we would work another extra 5 hours each week. Like, I was doing work on weekends sometimes, and I was not gonna pay for it. Okay? So there's that. But it's just like, they offered no benefits. You are required to have health insurance. And then so everybody was like, can I get health insurance at this job that I'm working full time where my wage isn't even that freaking great anyway? And they're like, well, that's going to cost us more money. You think we had any like job benefits? Heck to the no. You literally got no sick days, which was in my contract. Never got a sick day. And then, yes, you would get pay time off, but you only got like 5 days in the year. That was it. 5 days for a year. And then if once you hit 10 days, which literally is like 2 years worth, then they would start capping you and be like, you can't get any more. So baloney. So many red flags. And then yeah, I go to get a raise and they're like, what raise, honey? I'm like, girl, I've been here for 2 years. What do you mean? Dumb. Yeah, I thought you followed too, John. I was like, good job is super hard to get now, said Carn. Yeah. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Happy Saturday. Are required special degrees that are expensive to get? Gosh, I don't even think getting the degrees are worth it, guys. Yeah, someone I know worked for Arby's. She loved the food and then saw how it was made and was like, nope, said John War. Glorfin way, you get overwhelmed by some smells over time and lose interest. I didn't eat Taco Bell for 3 years after working there 1 year. I worked at the movie theater. Gosh, I worked at a movie theater for like 5 years of my life almost. I think 5 years. Maybe 3 or 4 years. I've worked at a movie theater for like 4 years, off and on. Like I would do like a year and then I'd like leave and then I do school and then I come back and go back for like a year, like that sort of thing. Dude, I do not like popcorn as much as I used to because popcorn just smells gross. And I realized the butter that they use at the movie theater is just oil. It's just plain regular like vegetable oil. Gross. Dr. Hubs used to work at Jack in the Box. Yeah. Crazy said, I live in a senior community where tips are not allowed, so everyone in the restaurant has hourly wage and it's easier to predict their each check. Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I'm down for an hourly wage if it's nice, but it's like, dude, some of these jobs that are hiring, it's like making less than $100 a day. And I'm like, huh? Like the last job I worked, I was happy if I could walk out. Granted, it was only 5-hour shifts. I was happy if I could walk out with $50 for the day. And I'm like, $50 for like 4 days in the week. My rent doesn't even cover that. That doesn't cover my rent. Like, Bruce, I've seen the commercials. They chop it all fresh and clean it in the AM and grill it in front of all the customers. Yeah, true. Chipotle does have actual standards. Yeah, no, they have standards, but like the Chipotle near me, they have a lot of people calling off all the time. They're always so short-staffed, which is just a whole general thing in the industry, right? But that's where their standards fall apart because they have people who aren't really, they don't know what they're doing. And obviously, like, you know, you just got to get through it. Like, no shame on the people, but it's just like, you know, you have people that don't understand some of the health codes and stuff because they weren't properly trained on it. And it's because they had people call off that they were relying on who didn't come in. And so they just need someone to cover. On the other hand, I worked at Wendy's and will still eat there, you said, Hubs. Oh, nice. What Brewster said, yeah. They do it in front of the customers, yeah. Yeah, but it's not your responsibility if you're leaving it to the bosses. They need to make sure she gets trained after you leave. Yeah, exactly. They should. And it's up to the bosses to know at least some of my job, which they never cared to learn. Even though they probably didn't. I hate training people, you said John Moore. Very hands-on. Yeah, I specifically went in and I told these people when I was interviewing, I was like, I am a manager at a movie theater, because I was at the current time. And I was like, I am telling you, like, training, managing is not my area. Like, I essentially was like looking to get demoted after I got manager, because it was only like a month in, and I was like, this is just not my thing. This is not for me. I don't like the responsibility of it, and I don't like essentially like being held accountable for something like that. Like, I feel like especially it just feels like such a time waster sometimes, because like the like, you know, the rolling in and out of some people, I was just like, our benefits are locked behind working a certain amount of hours. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which specifically make it to where you can't meet that due to a slow business. Yeah, that's pretty much why I got fired from my last job, because I was supposed to get my raise, and they were like, oh well, we're gonna fire you instead because your availability sucks. Sounds illegal. No sick days. Is that even legal? Guys, we live in America. You're lucky to even have a sick day. No, if you don't get sick days, this is what happens. You just call off and don't get paid. That's what happens. And then they give you crap for calling off. Oh my god. I remember one time I called off at a restaurant job, and literally my boss was like, I hope your mother's proud of who you are because you're letting everyone down. I was like, what in the fudge is this baloney? Like, what does my mom have to do with this? You that was so weird. Man, my morale would be an all-time low finding out someone getting more money than what I was getting. Soviet, that's exactly what happened. As soon as I found that out, I was livid, because I was like, you aren't even doing the amount of work I have done in my position. I know more programs. This person didn't even know how to use the design software that we used. Like, she didn't even have the basics. Okay? And like, she learned, and she's great at her job. Like, she does great. She's good with communication. She's good on that. I liked working with her. I have nothing but, you know, good things to say. I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? She had a degree, which was part of it. And I'm like, okay, I understand why she could get paid a little bit more than me because of that. Fair point. She has more experience as well. Fair freaking point. Why 25% more? I have no idea. That is way too high to me. And then when I was figuring that out, the receptionist was making less than me, and she had been there even longer than me. And then when I found out how much she made, I was like, wow. Like, wow. I was flabbergasted. I was like, that's just disgusting. And so when I went in, I was like, I need a raise. I deserve a raise. In my contract, I'm supposed to be getting raises every quarter that we turned a profit, but we had not turned a profit until the quarter that I was going to get my raise. And so when I hear, no, you're not going to get a raise, I'm like, that's baloney. And I literally pushed on it. I was like, this is what I'm doing. You gave me this review. You're telling me I'm doing great. If this raise is based on my work ethic, why can't you give me? I thought I would get a quarter because something. I didn't even think it would be much. But then when I found out how much this girl made, I was like, no, I deserve like a little something. Especially because it's been 2 years. I hadn't gotten a raise in 2 years. I've never gotten a raise being in that position. And then when they say we can't afford it and everybody else got raises, I was like, That was so funny. It was so crazy though, because my one boss was like really upset when I quit because, well, when I gave him my notice, because I went into the review and I was like, honestly, like, I'm happy here. I'm fine being here. Like, I am here to stay for as long as you'll have me. Like, that's my plan. And then with all of that baloney at the end of it, I was like, frick this place. So then like, the week after, I'm like, here's my notice. And then he was just like, So caught off guard. He was so upset. He started like getting teary-eyed. I was like, okay, bro, chill. Movie theater job was my fave of all time. You said, Narnar. I ate over buttered popcorn and drank Pepsi all day. Dude, that was the problem. I gained so much weight on that job. Movie theater butter, oil and chemicals, pretty much. Yeah, degrees didn't really matter compared to the certifications. Yeah, crazy squirrel. That's what I'm finding out. Worked at Jack in the Box for $4.25 an hour. We called the gag in the box. Also called Taco Bell Toxic Hell. Kona, hello. I remember who worked at Panera Bread. My manager refused to give me overtime even though I was working 65 hours a week. They would make me clock out and continue to work another 5 hours without lunch breaks. I remember I complained to HR about it and they said I have to see my regional supervisor about it. Granted, they just told me to quit if I didn't like the hours. I was just shocked. I hate working in corporate restaurants and yeah, you worked at Panera Bread. I've heard nothing but horror stories about Panera Bread. I'm so sorry. 65 hours a week and they refuse to give you overtime. That's baloney. That's how the movie theater job was. They didn't give you overtime. And I remember I was being like mad about it, but apparently we're in the state I live in, literally, that is one of the jobs where they're not required to give you overtime. Is anything within a film and entertainment industry does not have to give you overtime. And I was like, that is so crap, man. Also, an eating customer, you're putting your trust into an employee that's being likely mistreated and dealing with like rotten people. Yeah. Oh, I got closed out. Sorry, I haven't played LOTRO. It's a huge violation of labor law. Yeah. Used to differentiate between customer-facing activities and fellow employees, said Crazy Squirrel. Yeah, you're 17 at the time. Yeah. That's how you gotta learn, unfortunately. You gotta learn the hard way that some people, man, just... yeah. Basically took advantage of a young kid. Yeah. That's what they do. That's how the movie theater treated me. And that's how the office job treated me. Copy, yeah, almost everything is optional in the US. It's up to the individual companies, yeah. Moved to Norway. That's why, man, I'm literally at the point where I'm like, can I move away? Yeah, they're gaslighting you, yeah. Jarna, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the weird community officially. Hope you're doing well. I almost wanted to say officially again. I feel like you followed already. At the movies, I loved it when people called off because I needed their hours. Yeah, that's how I felt too, Narnar. I'm like, yeah, call off, bro. I'll work your line. Goose, the absolute worst treatment was when my supervisor was fired for a cause. I was asked to fill the position. Oh my god. Gave me a slight raise, but not what the position called for. Yeah, that's so annoying, Goose. Jarneth, hello. How you doing? Kona, I like when my old job gave me a 3-cent raise and made a huge deal out saying how it's a big raise and I'm getting a bigger raise than everyone else. Holy crap, just 3 cents. Dude, it's funny when they give me a quarter raise because most of the time at the places I work at, it's like, yes, you're like, congratulations, we're giving you a quarter's worth of a raise. And then literally because it's always minimum wage jobs that do that, and then literally the minimum wage goes up by like 30 cents. So it's like, oh great, you have this quarter raise, but then you only get that quarter for like a month because then the minimum increases, so just automatically they have to give you that raise. So it was so funny. They're like, oh yes, here is your raise, even though we would have given it to you anyway because the federal government requires us to do this. But before but just think of it like, yes, we appreciate you, here's your quarter, even though we would have given it to you literally later. It's just so funny. Sylvia, thank you for the weird hydrate. Thank you. Yeah, companies would rather you quit so they can get someone they can bully. Yeah. Goose, you said, but then they hired someone else to do the job, told me I would revert back to my old position with the old pay. Yeah, no, that's baloney. They wanted me to train the new supervisor. Yeah, bro, I hate when they do that. Yes, train the new supervisor. But we're going to give you your same pay that you had previously, even though you are now doing the supervisor job. Sounds like a lawsuit, said John Orr. Craze, I've done it before where I left my job but couldn't afford to stay there, so moved. Yeah, that sucks, Crazed. I told them to train themselves and quit. No notice, walked out, said Goose. Yeah. I wish I gave no notice to my office job. I wish I would have. My mom was like, you should. Like, I, honest to God, when I walked out of my review and I was told I would not get a raise, and I was like, this is baloney. Because other people are getting raises, other people are getting paid more than me who do less, who have been here for less amount of time. And then they're like, well, we can't afford it. I'm like, okay. Okay. So I walked out and I went to lunch with my friend and my mom's boyfriend, because they worked right across the road from me at the time. And I literally was just like, guys, I don't think I want to go back. Like, I am just so livid. I've never been so ticked off at like a job in my life. Like that, I guess. And I'm just like, still to this day, I'm like, I should have just never came back. Like, my friends at the job at the time, they were like, we didn't know if we had to like start packing your stuff or not. Because I took a really long lunch because I was just so mad. I was like, I do not care. How hard is it to get New Zealand citizenship copy? Oh my god, bro. So, well, you need a work visa, pretty much. Just, you know, that would be the nice way to do it. But obviously, like any job, they don't want to pay more if they don't have to. So why would they cover a work visa for somebody coming out of the country who might be even more unpredictable because, you know, what if they don't have a place to stay in New Zealand and all that? So just a lot of like uncertainty with that. So a lot of companies don't want to hire people for that reason that don't already have citizenship, unless you are going into like the very needed positions in New Zealand, which right now is like construction. Oh my god, so much construction, so much new housing they are building in New Zealand. It is just crazy. It's pretty much a lot of farming and like construction, which I have absolutely no desire nor experience in either of those industries. Yeah, so that's pretty much on the table. I could go back and possibly study in New Zealand, which I'm looking into, but I don't really want to go back to school. I really don't. If I can avoid it, but who knows? We'll see. Yeah, and then, yeah, that's pretty much like the only two ways. Glaringly, work 12 years without a raise, do an important job, have a good relationship with the folk I work with. We formed a union. Things are slightly better, but it's so much a live to work country. Exactly. That was what really changed my perspective in New Zealand, because it was so much, it's so different. It's such a, it really is, like, honest to gosh, guys, it was like almost life-changing to see just the differences in that regard, because yeah, New Zealand is very much more a live to, or I'm sorry, like a work to live country. And in the States, it really is a live to work place. Like, it is so much. Like, the benefits in New Zealand, oh my god, way better. Way better. They have less taxes taken out as well, believe it or not. And yeah, it's so common to have like time off, and you get it occurred like so quickly, it seemed. Crazy. It's like crazy. I'm like, that's so just nice. Most places over there, like, I would say like you probably work less than 40 hours for most full-time positions there. Normally it's like 32, 35, 40, but I don't think there is many people that work 40 hours a week, if I'm being honest. Yeah, like it's just so nice. And then I come back here and it's like, I just feel like I can't afford anything. Like, it's crazy. Like, even Chipotle. I said I was gonna get Chipotle today. I didn't even get Chipotle. I just realized that. I was sitting here and I was like, I'm hungry. I should have lunch. And I was like, what was I gonna have for lunch? I did say after my interview I was gonna grab Chipotle, and I didn't. Yeah, so it's so wild. Drowneth got attacked by ads, dang it. I think you have to sub to get no ads, yeah. Can we even buy anything at all anymore with a quarter? Are gumballs still a quarter? I don't think so. I think they're like a whole $1 now. You remember gumballs being a penny? They should be. War said hi. It says, Aubrey says, a bologna sandwich. Exactly. It's a bologna sandwich. They can let you go with no notice, but they expect you to give them at least 2 weeks. Exactly. Exactly. That's what's crazy. Now that I've had a job and a position that literally gave me no notice, fired me while I was on vacation, And then proceeded to say the reason why they fired me was because my lack of availability, which has literally been the same as when I started that position, and my personality. I was just like, and then I looked into legal reasons for that. I was like, is this even like allowed? And then I legally found out it was totally legally okay. I was like, oh, it's over. My cares for any position, my like respect, the common decent thing to do just shrunk, bro. Like it's non-existent. I'm like, dude, I'm going with my gut. That's what I'm realizing. Honestly, guys, just trust your gut. At the end of the day, your gut is telling you something. Don't just like let things slide. Like, call the frick out, bro. Call it out. Do it. You could shepherd farm, bake shepherd's pie every day. And most other democracies, the government protects the workers. In the US, the government protects businesses. Yeah. Especially in my state, it is such a business-oriented, protected state. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, yeah, it's interesting, you know. It's just not crazy. Don't treat companies like people. They don't deserve anything. Yeah, exactly, Parameter. That's where I'm at in the world. Like, and just in life, where I'm just like, you know what? Frick it all. I don't care. I will walk out on anything if it's not... If someone's not holding up their word, I'm done. I'm done. It's a deep blue state. Crazy said right to work states are the opposite of they can fire you without cause or reason. Yeah. That's literally, I think that's what I am, I think that's what I have. They don't even have to tell me. The ones I hate is when companies are like, we're like family. Yep, red flag. Don't apply for that job. I guess that was like the one thing with this job when I went in the interview. They didn't say that, and so I was like, okay, maybe. But I don't know, man. We'll see. Every job has their disadvantages. Every place, you know, is got their pros and cons, obviously. But just, you know, make sure you guys like, you know, go with your gut, trust your intuition, your instincts. And if people want to put you in some crappy situations, don't put up with it, man. And I'm not saying you have to quit or anything, because obviously we all just need, you know, to make money to live. But like, I'm just saying, like, don't do as much for them. Set your boundaries. Yeah. Because I'm gonna tell you, as someone who never really had boundaries with jobs, got taken advantage of, would then like get fired or lose hours for whatever baloney freaking reason, like, and then having a job where I set boundaries and then I got fired anyway because whatever baloney reason that they wanted to give me, like, I just felt way better getting fired from the job where I set boundaries and I was like, I'm not doing this, and then they got irritated with me. But like, I just felt better about myself, you know, like once I got fired, because I was like, this is gonna happen no matter what. Even if I was walked all over or not, it would have happened. So like, I just feel better because I didn't, you know, get walked over. Yeah, if a company says they're like family, run. Run as fast as you can. Tin, hello, how you doing? Already have one back crap crazy family, don't need a second. Goose, the first place you usually get exploited for your labor is your family. Ooh, that's actually a really fair point. That's actually, Goose, you're actually kind of on something here. Dude, like, yeah. Wow. Dude, that's like powerful. That's sticking with me, Goose. Karan, gotta take care of yourself because company will not. Exactly. Yeah, just take care of yourselves, guys. That's all I can say. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on like a whole rant about like job interviews, work, life, you know, firings and stuff, but it's just like, wild. Anyway, the good news is that when I was walking into this interview, I actually got a notification about another interview possibly getting scheduled for next week. So if this doesn't work out, I think I have like 2 other interviews already scheduled for next week, so we should be okay. At least I should be okay. So don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Goose wants to poo in the shower. Heck yeah, let's do it. Pooping in the shower. It's one of a kind. Morning, Sky. How you doing? How goes there? It's all good. We all need to vent sometime. Yeah, exactly, Kona. I appreciate it. Don't mind me. I'm just here. I'm so sad I didn't grab Chipotle. And now it's like, do I go out and get it? I don't think I do. Uh-oh. No, the stream is failing. As soon as I pull up, pooing in the shower, my bitrate took a big plump. Rant then poo. Dude, how does that happen though? Here, let me do this. That might help. Let's close out a LOTRO. Might have to restart the stream. You're breaking up. I'm not door dashing. It's way too expensive to DoorDash. It's too powerful. Start the stream.